Good morning, Ken.
Hey, Grady, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited
Well,
to be here today.
very good. Everybody, welcome to our MJM virtual boat show today. My name is Ken Comerford, and I am here with Grady Byus. And wanted to make sure that you guys knew that we had a big schedule here today for you all. Grady and I are going to go through the 50Z first, and then at 11 o'clock, we have an opportunity to get together with Peter Johnstone from MJM, which will prove to be a great opportunity to kind of discuss some broad stroke things that are happening with MJM and give you some great insights. At noon, David Malkin is going to be joining you guys with Bobby Oberg to go through the 43Z, which will be exciting kind of view of what that looks like. We've got Laura Kaiser at 1 o'clock talking about some financing. And we've got Jack McGuire, 35Z at 2 o'clock. And then we're going to wrap it up with our MJM North Point team coming back to you at 3 o'clock to kind of give you a testimonial from one of our latest customers. So we've got an action-packed day. And now let's get talking about the MJM 50Z, Grady.
Amen.
Yeah. So obviously, MJM, super great classic down east design that has a whole lot of interesting things going on. What are some of your features that you just love about this boat?
Well, the MJM 50 is very true to the brand of MJM, and that was something that Bob Johnstone thought of some years ago in the early 2000s and decided that a boat should be easier, it should be more accessible, and a couple should be able to take a boat out on their own as large as a 50 and even larger and not need a whole lot of maintenance and crew and extra difficulty. It should just be easy to go boating and enjoyable in this elegant classic boat. So
Yeah.
my favorite feature.
Bob certainly had a vision, and I think that vision is really clear. When you take a look at that picture, you see that bridge deck. I mean, that's amazing. And this one heck of a nice looking boat that has a lot of visual. What is this your favorite area on the boat?
Yeah, it certainly is. Bob likens it, and a lot of folks do, to a fly bridge on a super yacht, a 110-foot yacht. And it feels like that. You have 360 degrees of visibility, all the windows open with power opening front windows, triple sliding side windows, convertible rear, so you can have it with soft glass or enclosed if you prefer. But it's just one level of deck, all the way from the transom to the bridge deck and the helm. So you can easily have a great conversation. And if you're docking the boat with, like I said, just a couple, the two of you can do it and you can see to the back corner and no obstacles. Boating's easy and enjoyable.
Yeah, spending some time on the 50Z. Matter of fact, we had an opportunity, Jen and I and the family had a chance to spend 6 weeks on the 50Z up in New England. Well, gosh, I guess about 3 summers ago. Yeah, I got to tell you that area is really comfortable, and just the ability to feel like you're outside is just incredible. So that's it's certainly pretty cool. You know, the 50Z, as we're going to talk about today, is important to kind of have everybody understand that there's a 50, but we also have a 53, and I know that Bob and Peter really kind of gave us the ability to bring outboard power, and they led the market. But what do you see kind of the uniquenesses that we can kind of talk about? Obviously, one's an IPS boat, one's an outboard boat. But Grady, you want to kind of explain some of the things you see in the 53?
Yeah, the 53 is simply an evolution of the regular 50Z with a Volvo IPS power. If you look at these two photos that we have side by side there, from the transom forward, so from on the left photo of the traditional 50, forward of the swim platform, the boats are identical. There are some options that you can have if you want a 2 or 3 stateroom version, but you have those options on both boats. As you said, Ken, the 53 and the 43 and the 35 included in that are simply an evolution of how boating has evolved to apply to a different group of people. So here on the Chesapeake Bay, there's a lot of folks that might have a waterfront house with 2 or 3 feet of water in it. So if you want to have your classic down east boat behind your house and you need shallow water capabilities, the outboards allow you to do that. The same goes for cruising through the Carolinas all the way down to Florida. So There's a whole lot of application, gets you some speed, gets you some fun. And frankly, it's just a power package that appeals to somebody else. They might like the fact that it's more accessible and gives you some different space and ergonomics inside of the boat. So again, it's nothing more than us trying to give boaters what they want. And Bob has long been a leader in bringing new brands and new products to market that might be ahead of their time. And in this case, he continued with the 35Z and then the 43 and the 53 to provide these classic down east boats with some outboard power.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, it's giving us the ability to compete in a marketplace that's very different. And outboard is certainly got a lot of attention of a lot of people. But today we're talking about the IPS 50, and the things that I really just enjoy a lot about the 50 is the fact that the transom still gives us the ability to put a dinghy on the back, and that IPS system really gives you an awful lot of bite around dock space. So that's for sure something that's pretty powerful. Grady, what kind of speeds do you get out of the boat?
The 50Z with the traditional IPS will cruise anywhere between 28 and 34. We have a good client right now who's on his way home from Florida, and he's been cruising at 32 the whole way home through the ICW in the ocean. That's one of the incredible things about the boat. I know, Ken, you've done Annapolis to Block Island in a day.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
And
that's a big day, but it gives you the ability in the ocean to cruise at these speeds through the Dugzer and hull design.
It's beyond impressive when you can just get out and roll it. And at 32, you're actually, very efficient on your fuel. So I know that some guys will actually even push it up to about 35 knots. And we just found that 32 was got us to where we wanted to get to, and we were really comfortable with that.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories. We should probably get to the video sooner rather than later, but
we got too much to talk about. What about? I mean, this interior, pretty cool.
Yeah,
right? I mean, gives us a few different options. So, what's going on down there?
So MJMs, I like to say, we're designed around an 80-20 principle. What that means is have the boat work well for 80% of your use, which is a couple boating. They might be cruising themselves, they might be day boating with friends and family. But since that's how the majority of the people use their boat, is a couple cruising, don't carry around 2 or 3 other bedrooms if you don't need them. So we give you the opportunity in the great room that you can see there to convert that space into a second stateroom. Yeah. You can leave it open as you see, or you can convert it with a portable bulkhead system, which is really neat. It's an ingenious system that you can see is hidden just behind that door to the left of the photo there. And in about 15 minutes, it's in place. And so if you're doing a longer cruise with another couple, you can have a permanent, semi-permanent second stateroom, which Lauren has just put up there. There's a photo of it made up with a queen size berth. The cool thing is you still have 2 chairs there, so you can wake up, put on a pair of socks and shoes, and greet the day. And then recently on the 53, they made a beautiful permanent second stateroom with an athwartships berth that really provides you with a sense of elegance and a second stateroom that another couple is going to be very, very comfortable in. And then there are some other layouts that we can talk about in the starboard head. So if you really do want to try and maximize the space, we give you the ability to set it up as you like. So it can be a 1 stateroom, but we even like to say with the single stateroom, you can still sleep up to 11 with the conditioned bridge deck, the way that the salon converts and everything. So it's a neat space.
I don't know if I want to go out on a boat with that many people, but you're absolutely right. An awful lot to talk about. So I think Grady might be right on that. Maybe we should do the walkthrough. Maybe Lauren can get teed up for what we have going on with the walkthrough.
And I see Joe Heichel just tuned in. Thanks, Joe, for letting us take this video of your boat, and we know you're having fun on it. So we'll all watch this together.
All right. See you guys.
Hello, and welcome to the MJM Yachts 50z. My name's Grady Byus with Point Yacht Sales in Annapolis, Maryland, and today I'll be giving you a guided tour through the MJM 50 and talking to you about a few of my favorite features on board. Thanks, and follow along. As we begin our walkthrough on the MJM 50, there's a couple things I'd like you to keep in mind. First, Pay close attention to the accessibility of the boat, how open the layout is, transom boarding doors, side boarding doors on both port and starboard side, power opening front windshields, sliding side windows, and wide side decks as you move forward. The boat is laid out to be very functional, yet very purposeful and elegant in all of its execution. The cockpit is accessed from port and starboard boarding doors, as well as a transom door, which can provide access to the hydraulic swim platform where you might have a dinghy, or in this case, some kayaks. To port is a serving bar with ice maker or fridge and storage. The C-shaped cockpit seating to starboard with electric actuating up-down table allows you to convert into a nice full-size sleeping berth for extra guests on board in the conditioned space, as well as an L-shaped port side lounge. Underneath the port and starboard seating in the bridge deck, you'll see tremendous amounts of storage with space to fit 2 fully assembled mountain bikes, or in this particular case, electric road bikes, with plenty of extra gear. One of the most surprising spaces on the MJM 50 is this utility or storage room. It houses the standard Seakeeper gyro stabilizer, the air conditioning systems, and an optional washer dryer. This particular boat opted for more storage instead of the washer dryer, so combine that with our port and starboard lazarette storage, you have an amazing amount of storage for whatever you're doing on board. Right from the helm, you have everything you need. From the steering wheel, Volvo Penta joystick control, right down to a sliding window so that I can access the springline cleat when we're docking. You can also notice it's an easy access to the back of the boat, and I have a great sight line forward with power opening windows. The helm of the 50Z has a double wide stid seat to starboard and a wide stid seat to port for ample seating. The passage onto the bow is highlighted by wide side decks and strong handholds throughout. Moving forward, you have a solid stainless bow rail that wraps around nearly half of the boat to give you ultimate comfort and protection when going forward. You'll also see high quality stainless steel hardware, foot controls for your windlass, as well as a windlass control aft at the helm, and accessible bridge deck electronics. The galley on the MJM 50 is very well appointed, with an undermounted stainless steel sink, convection microwave oven, fridge freezer drawer combo, induction cooktop, and top opening deep freezer. You can day boat or go away for long weekends or week-long trips and have plenty of storage. I'm sitting in what is lovingly referred to as the great room on the MJM 50. This space is part of the 80-20 principle that we've talked about, where it's a nice open room for 80% of your use. You have a space you can have lunch, have breakfast and coffee when you wake up in the morning, and just have a nice relaxation space that may not be on deck. As the 20% rule goes, this space also creates, to make this table pedestal go down, to create a queen size berth. There are a few other layouts that we can offer you with a fixed second berth in this space with a wall panel system, or a convertible panel system, so in about 15 minutes you can go from what you see here to a fully enclosed second stateroom. The 50Z has his and her heads and showers, which means that to starboard you have a separate shower and a very well appointed head. And here we are looking to port at the second of the two heads. The master stateroom on the 50Z has a walk-around queen berth with chair and vanity or desk, as well as a cedar back hanging locker to port. Cherry interior finishing really highlights the workmanship and the woodwork that you have coming out of the Boston Boat Works facility. The MJM line is built out of an all epoxy hull with foam core to make it a very fast and lightweight boat. It's made to be very simple to take care of with things like synthetic teak, no exterior teak to varnish, and generally just being an easier boat to operate as a company. Thanks for joining me on the walkthrough of the MJM 50. I'm with Point Yacht Sales, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If I could leave you with one piece of advice, it's find yourself on an MJM when you can. A lot of the details that we've talked about today are difficult to see over video, and there's a lot of quality and craftsmanship that goes into this boat that set it apart from pretty much anything else you're going to view. Look forward to seeing you out on the water. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll try and get you on an MJM. Thank you.
And great job, Grady. That was a phenomenal walkthrough. I absolutely love your casual attitude, kind of getting through it, and you just get it all done. So great job.
Yeah, well, thank you. And those that know me will know that I love my own advice. And the advice that I gave there at the end, you really should try and get on board any sort of MJM, because the quality is not something that you can really see through a video or through these photos we're putting up. And it's a boat that really needs to be seen and felt to be understood. It's classic and elegant and looks great here in these photos, but there's so much that's beyond the surface of what you can see. That get on board, talk to an MJM expert, and let's go for a boat ride. Go see the boat in action.
Well, there's no doubt. Let's go for a boat ride, and we're all ready for that. Weather's getting nice, and definitely it's been super cool to get out and see some of our owners using their boats. I know that we had a boat in here the other day getting some work done, and we've got a boat making its way up the coast right now, and got a few owners here online building boats with us. So we really want to thank our entire MJM family. Grady, it's a boat show, so people kind of compare and contrast this to some other boats. I mean, I know it's kind of in its own class, but what makes you feel like this is the boat that people need to get out and demo?
Yeah, it is a boat that really does things differently, and Bob and now Peter are following through with that execution to make sure that it's something that stands out on its own. As I said earlier, it's a boat that is easy to take out as a couple, even up to 50 feet. And that was always one of the pillars of the MJM brand, that Bob and Mary wanted to go watch sailboat racing and wanted to go cruising, and didn't want a boat that required more effort to get off the dock than it did to go boating.
Right.
And there's not a whole lot else that does that quite as well. And then the way that the boat opens up really is quite unique, with the sliding windows. And for so long we had roll-up side windows that still work wonderfully. And that open air feel is something that you just can't quite find anywhere else. But there are lots of other boats that have come into the market and tried to follow suit, but there's some proprietary build things with the epoxy hull construction, and just the care and effort that goes into the boat. It's really a step above and beyond. And as I said earlier, running the boat, Doug Zern, man, he's knocked every single one of these out of the water, and they really are just a joy to drive, and they reduce fatigue. We're going to be talking to Joe Heichel a little bit later with a video that we'll show, and he talks a lot about how they are not tired after a day of boating like they were in many other boats.
Really, really, really good point. I mean, you can travel a lot of miles, and at the end of the day, still feel like you're going out to dinner, having a great time. So, it wouldn't be a boat show unless we had the whistling gopher. So, woohoo! What's she gopher?
An MJM 50 well equipped will probably be on the water about 2.4. There are some options throughout the boat, like a fixed back that might change that number, second staterooms, third staterooms, but the common platform that people build is the forward stateroom with a convertible second, and then that boat is going to be about 2.4 with Seakeeper standard, triple Volvo IPS 500s or 650s is what we offer today, and you can have just about everything you need to go long range cruising or go do weekending with friends and family.
So thanks, Grady. I know that we're doing an awful lot of work to try to get information into the hands of our customers. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but on our website, we've been really trying to make sure that we do a great job on our blogs and getting the information into the consumer's hands. So if you want to learn more about the MJM, please make sure you take the time to go to Point Yacht Sales, get onto the blogs, take a little bit of time to read through some of the things that we have, and really welcome you guys to the family. Grady, awesome job today. Lauren, something you're not, if there's a way to have you join back, I didn't introduce you, and I know that you're going to be doing a huge job with us today, being the host for the rest of the afternoon for all the different times. So thanks, Lauren, for getting this all together. You are truly the person that's been helping kind of organize and keep us on track. So thanks so much. And we look forward to a great day with y'all. I'll be joining you at 10 o'clock or actually at 11 o'clock with Peter Johnstone, and look forward to the next time to get together. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you all very much.
Good job.
you know, all right.